Howdy YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Gunman. So today we've got another awesome limited edition to do a review on, and it is the DV1 New School. So I got the base coat edition, as you can tell by the blue highlights on this gun. So with the DV1s, the clear coat guns have the orange or orangey yellow sort of a gold highlight, and the base coat guns have the blue highlights on them. So the setup that I went for was the B plus air cap, as you probably saw just a second ago, and I went for the 1.3. I would say for most people, for a base coat gun, that is probably what you're going to want to go for. As you can see, the box does come with a pot. It's a nice black pot, but you don't have to go for that. There's a few different options that you can go for when you get this gun. So you can go gun only without the pot, or you can get the gun with the pot. But yeah, there's no option for digital with both of these guns. So you got the old school and the new school. This one here is the new school, and on screen now that is the old school. So that's kind of paying homage to the Vigilante, which is another old limited edition which you may be familiar with, and this one here is paying homage to the Nebula. So yeah, personally I think the old two DeVilbiss, the Vigilante and the Nebula, those two are probably some of, if not the best limited editions ever released. I actually still have one of each, so yeah, that's how good they are. I could never let them go. Yeah, so with this base coat gun, you can get it in 1.2 and 1.3. So yeah, you don't have all like a massive selection of fluid tip sizes, but it's all you're really going to need. I can't imagine anybody wanting like a 1.4 these days for any base coats. And later on in this video, I've decided to, as much as anything, just to sort of prove a point and just show you guys what this gun's capable of. It definitely is capable of spraying clear coat, but it would not be my first choice for clear coat. So the clear coats that I'm using now, they need like an ultra high pressure for the first coat. I'm talking like 40 psi. One thing that I did notice is that the fan did start breaking up a little bit in the center, so you get like heavy top and bottom. But I noticed with the clear coat gun that didn't happen. This is something that I would not have usually realized, because I don't usually, well, with normal clears, with most normal clears, I don't usually spray at that high pressure. But the clear coat that I'm using now, it needs that higher pressure. So I guess I mentioned that just to highlight that there is definitely a difference between the base coat and the clear gun. Yeah, they would know the science behind that. They would know that some people do like to spray clear coats at a high pressure, and no one's really ever going to be spraying base coat at 40 psi, right? So they have altered the way that the guns do atomize the paint. But yeah, I'm going to have to stick by my original assessment of this base coat gun. So it's basically the DV1 base coat gun. My original assessment when they first came out was effortless. Like, I still reckon this is the best base coat gun on the market. Yeah, the price is getting up there, but any painter who's in the industry should be able to afford one. Like, they shouldn't be too expensive for a good spray painter. Well, yeah, they're not. Like, they're under $1,000 Australian, so you know, they're not crazy expensive. And even this limited edition, I just checked on Spray Guns Direct, even the limited edition is $960. So even if you're here in Australia, the $40 would probably get you the shipping from the UK. So you're up around the $1,000. But yeah, I was just having a look at some of the SATA jets, and even on Spray Guns Direct, they're about, say, $1,200. So again, you'll pay a little bit extra on the shipping. So that was a SATA CC. But you know, well, that's one spray gun that you will not get cheaper in Australia, because I've been speaking to some of the suppliers and they're getting a bit pissed off actually, because they can't even get them for less than, say, $1,450 or $1,500, right? Even the suppliers here in Australia, like, they are getting pissed off with SATA, because the price is like, so let's just say you buy a SATA for $1,500. You know, any supplier is going to want to put a couple of $100 on top of it to make a bit of profit. So, you know, the end user gets it for like $1,700. Who's going to spend that? Like, seriously, who's out there spending $1,700 on a spray gun? You could get yourself, you know, a DV1, a R160 ANI, and nearly a Pro Light, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just like, and the build quality on these DV1s is actually a reasonable increase from the Pro Lights. I was never a big fan of the DV1 clear gun when it came out, because it came out with the C1 air cap, and even with the 1.3, I found it a little bit slow. But I think it might be a mixture of a few different things. The clear coats that I'm using now do prefer like a slower gun because I'm using that 105 clear like I mentioned before. If you overload that, it's going to run, or even on a bonnet it could say solvent boil on you, so you do have to go like less is more with the clear that I'm using. I think it's a combination of that, and they did actually bring out another air cap, so as soon as they brought out the C2 I did start warming to it. But yeah, it probably wouldn't have been my first choice, the DV1 clear gun, but the DV1 base coat gun is still my first choice. Now, in saying that, I've been using the DV1 clear gun for the last sort of month, and I can't fault it. So I've been having, a lot of enjoying using it, having a lot of fun. But I would actually say, like, what is more important, your clear gun or your base coat gun? I would nearly say your base coat gun is more important these days, because last thing that you want is mottle in your color. But I've found that pretty much all of the top of the line, or even mid-range, you can get some really good mid-range guns these days that sort of punch above their weight. Things like the A&I Black, that's what, about say $500 give or take, and you get a few extras with it. It's not just a spray gun, you get a few different fluid tips and air caps with it. But I'm not sure if you guys noticed, so that first coat, the fan was not quite as strong. Now on this second coat, it looks a lot fuller. Again, I'm not sure if you guys can quite notice that, but it's a lot more even throughout the spray fan. You don't sort of have any dead zones, and it's not sort of a little bit light in the middle or anything. Now that's not really a criticism in the gun, because it's not a clear coat gun. But as much as anything, I just thought I'd point that out. Now, I actually didn't catch this until I'm editing this footage. Now, there's a very slight bit of mottle in there. That's not the spray gun's fault, that's my fault. I probably should have gone maybe a little bit dustier on it, even just dusted one more coat on, say going from front to back. It's definitely not heavy mottle, but before you all sort of give me a hard time in the comments, I saw it too, alright? So, yeah, but as far as the finish goes, that clear coat, like, it's kind of like a factory type finish, that orange peel, so it was definitely a pass. We didn't have to sort of re-clear that bonnet or anything, but I do usually go for a little bit better than that. So the clear gun will give you a little bit of a better finish than that. So not too much better, but there's a fine line. That's what I was saying to one of my friends the other day, is that there's definitely a fine line between orange peel, glassy and flat, and solvent boil. If you push your clears too far, you're going to get solvent boil. And I would nearly rather a light orange peel like that, which is like a factory sort of orange peel anyway. I'd rather that than solvent boil, because solvent boil, once it's there, you'll never get rid of it. Like, you can sort of hide it, right, with you buff it up and you sort of get the heat into it with the buff, and you'll sort of pop those bubbles, but they'll always be there. If you got like a magnifying glass onto that clear coat, those little bubbles would still be there. So either way, this is the rest of the car. So full respray that I did on this patrol, bare metal respray actually. Done a few of these now. So killer gun, killer color, killer respray. It's all a bit of fun, mate. I love working at this shop now. I've actually got to do a workshop tour, but I have recently celebrated my 10th anniversary on YouTube, so just want to thank everybody for being part of it. All the likes, comments and shares and all that stuff, I really do appreciate it. It's just been, wow, what a wild ride. 60 million views or something crazy like that. I still can't even believe it. But yeah, there's a quick look at the old Nebula compared to the new school Nebula. Oh, well, new school, that's what they call it, just new school. So let me know what you think looks better. Hey, you might like the new school better, but personally I like that old Nebula better. But it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you want to get one of these guns, be sure to go over to Spray Guns Direct and check it out. There's a link in the description. Till next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out. I'd like to say a big thanks to everyone for watching, and if you'd like to support the channel further, you're more than welcome to go over and check out some of the merchandise we've got. My personal favourite is those spray suits, so they're a good quality Colad branded spray suit with the Gunman logo on it. There's also hats, drink coolers, hoodies and t-shirts, so be sure to go over and check out the link in the description if you are interested.